Hello everyone, I'm Leo. In today's video, I will show you how to make a thick sushi roll called Ehomaki. It is known to bring good fortune. And also, I will explain about the traditional seasonal event in Japan called Setsubun, on which we eat Ehomaki and celebrate the beginning of spring. It is usually around February 3rd every year. Okay, now let me share how to make tasty Ehomaki. Here are the ingredients and steps for the recipe. 0.7 pounds of white rice, 1 carrot, 3 dried shiitake mushrooms, 10 sugar peas, 3 eggs, 1 edible raw fish. Okay, first make a Japanese rolled omelette. 3 eggs, a half teaspoon of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of sugar, a quarter teaspoon of salt. Break the 3 eggs into a bowl. And if you care to, the texture of the small white part called kasaza can be removed like this. Then stir the eggs with chopsticks. As you mix lightly, add measured soy sauce, sugar, and salt. Then mix it again until it becomes even. Pour some oil in the small frying pan over low or medium heat. Remove excess oil with a paper towel. There is an easy way to check the temperature of the oil. Take a little bit of the egg liquid with chopsticks and put it on the pan. If the egg gets cooked with fizzling sound right away, the oil is ready to cook omelette. Pour 1/3 of the egg liquid into the pan. The egg around the corner gets cooked before the remainder. So, move it to the center with chopsticks like this. Then, as it is half cooked, hold it from above to below like this. Pour the half of the remaining eggs mixture into the pan and float the egg under the omelette by lifting it up and tilting the pan a little. Then again, as it is half cooked, roll it up. It's getting a nice omelette, isn't it? Repeat the same thing again. Then turn off the heat. Because the omelette is hot and soft right after cooking, which causes it to break when you cut it with a knife. Just leave it to cool down to room temperature. We will make boiled shiitake mushrooms and carrots. Dried mushroom has a unique texture and full of umami. You will need to prepare these seasonings. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, sugar, and sweet sake called mirin. First, put dried mushrooms in water. They will float out to the surface, but you don't need to worry about uneven remoistening, because the whole mushrooms will absorb water in a couple of hours to a half day. While waiting for them to soak, cut the carrot in half. Then, cut it into 1/3 to half inches diameter stick shapes and set aside. After the mushrooms become moist and tender, take them out of water and cut them into slices. If you cut them into thick slices, you can enjoy the nice texture. I will use the soaked water to boil them and make a stock. I recommend you to choose mushrooms grown without any chemicals like pesticides or fertilizers. This soaked water is full of umami and makes your dish tastier. Put a cup of mushroom stock water into a pot and add measured soy sauce, sugar, and mirin. Then, put in the cut mushrooms and carrots. Turn on to medium heat. As it starts boiling, remove the appeared bubbles on the surface, which is an astringent component. Turn the heat down and simmer for 15 to 20 minutes until little water remains. Please watch occasionally so that it doesn't burn, especially before the end of the simmering process. Let it cool down to room temperature. Next, boil the sugar peas. Bring 1 liter of water with half teaspoons of salt to boil. While waiting for the water to boil, remove the fiber of sugar peas on both sides like this, so you will have better texture. After the water boils, put in the sugar peas and boil for 2 minutes. The sugar peas will become a bright green color as they are boiled. Then quickly put them into cold water and let cool so that they won't continue cooking and will have a nice crispy texture and color. After cooling, take them out of the water. If you soak the sugar peas too long, they will have a watery taste, and there is another point to make the peas tastier. Sugar peas have a hole in the skin. While boiling, water goes into the hole and it makes them watery. So, shake it like this to remove any water. Next, make sushi rice seasoned with sushi vinegar sauce. Please prepare 2/3 pounds of white short grain rice. 1/3 pounds is a unit to measure rice commonly in Japan. The unit is called go. When you cook rice with a rice cooker, you need to know about this measurement. There is a scale on the inside of the bowl to measure the water for the rice to cook. You should always know 1.2 times weight of the rice in water. So, to cook 2/3 pounds of rice, you need 0.8 pounds of water. But to cook nicely with a hard texture for sushi, it is better to cook rice with a little smaller amount of water. First, rinse the measured rice with water. There is usually some remaining brown around the rice particles. As time goes on, the brown can get oxidized and produce a smell when you cook the rice. You can prevent this smell by rinsing the rice. I know some of you might be concerned about the loss of nutrition with rinsing the rice. In this case, I'd say that it's not absolutely necessary to rinse your rice. After you finish the rinsing process, soak the rice in water for around 30 minutes so that the rice can be easily cooked and will become nicely sticky. So while we wait for the rice to absorb enough water, we will prepare sushi vinegar sauce. Please prepare these seasonings: 3 tablespoons of vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of salt. You will need to mix them together. It will take some time to dissolve all the sugar and salt. After some steady mixing, it will dissolve completely. If you need to use it right away, warm the mixture of vinegar, sugar, and salt until they dissolve. But do not heat it to a boil because the nice flavor of the vinegar diminishes by boiling it. After 30 minutes has passed, strain the water. If you are not using it right away, put it in the container and keep it in the refrigerator. Put the soaked rice in the rice cooker and pour in the measured water, or just pour water to the line for 2 cups of rice. As I said earlier, this measuring cup for rice in the rice cooker is different from the measuring cup in America, so please do not get confused. Next, close the lid of the rice cooker and turn it on. Next, cut the raw fish into sticks. This is very easy. You may use your favorite edible raw fish, such as salmon or tuna, then cut it like this. Raw fish is a popular ingredient for a normal sushi roll and it is eaten with soy sauce. But ehomaki is usually eaten without being cut nor using dipping any sauce. Then, it would be better to use other ingredients with a stronger taste such as grilled eel seasoned with salty and sweet sauce. When the rice has finished cooking, open the lid of the rice cooker. It looks so tasty already! Now, it is very important to mix the vinegar sauce with the rice while the rice is hot. Put the cooked rice in a big bowl or plate and pour the vinegar sauce over it. To mix it evenly, sushi chefs usually use a rice scoop like this. Then, mix the rice and the vinegar evenly. There is another important point. If you mix it too much, the rice gets sticky and the particles may break and it won't turn out to be tasty sushi rice. So, after mixing the rice with the rice scoop speedily, break the lumps with the rice scoop like this. When you feel it is mixed well and all of the rice particles are separate, let it cool with a fan like this. As you feel the surface is cooled down, flip the rice over like this. By doing this, the vinegar that went down to the bottom can be mixed well again, and the rice will be cooled down evenly. Making shiny and tasty sushi rice is now completed. If you will be eating the sushi soon, please keep it at room temperature, otherwise the sushi rice inside will become hard. Okay, now we are in the final process and it is time to roll out the rice and the ingredients with the Nori seaweed sheet. This may be a little difficult, but if you follow my instructions, you will make a beautiful ehomaki. We will use a sushi mat made with bamboo. I think you can buy it at Japanese or Asian markets. There is a front and back side in the Nori sheet. Face the shiny and smooth side down on the sushi mat. Place the stripe pattern on the Nori sheet horizontally. Then put the sushi rice on the Nori sheet. Prepare the water and the vinegar mixture to put on your fingers so the sushi rice won't stick to your fingers. Leave 1 inch from the top and fill the remaining part with the sushi rice. The thickness of the rice should be around 1/3 inches. If you can see the color of the nori sheet through the gap of rice, the amount of rice is just right. Then, place the ingredients on the rice. First, place the bottom of the nori on the edge of sushi mat. Then, put the ingredients a little above the center line of the nori so that you can roll it up easily. Another point is to be careful when you are putting on the ingredients. After you finish putting on all of the ingredients, you will roll it up. Lift up the bottom of the nori sheet with the sushi mat and roll it over the ingredients and to reach the front edge at the top edge. As you cover the ingredients, the pile may fall down, so be careful to hold it with your fingers as you roll it up. After you roll it up, put the rolled sushi toward your side and push away the other side of the sushi mat so that the rolled sushi gets tightened and won't break when you cut it. Then roll it up to the end. As you see, the rice on each edge is coming out and doesn't look good, so place the sushi roll to the edge and push up the rice inside, and do the same thing on the other side too. Now it is time to cut the sushi roll. Wipe a knife with wet cloth before you cut so that rice won't stick to the knife. Cut the middle, then cut the middle of each one again, and then cut again. The cross section looks like this. It looks nice, doesn't it? If you didn't tighten the sushi roll in the process of rolling it up, the sushi roll will break as you cut it. And after you cut it, shape the sushi roll nicely with the sushi mat like this. The whole procedure is complete. It looks tasty, doesn't it? The ehomaki is usually eaten as you face the lucky direction of the ear without saying anything. It is said that you can bring good fortune by using this technique. Okay, let me summarize the important points to make ehomaki. First, cool down the omelette before you cut it. Second, bring the nice color combination for the ingredients. Third, mix freshly hot rice with vinegar sauce without too much stirring. Fourth, pile up the ingredients on the little above the middle line. Fifth, tighten the roll to prevent it from breaking as you cut it. So today, I used some winter seasonal vegetables like sugar peas, but if you want to make something different during another season, you can choose your favorite seasonal vegetables of the time. To bring in sense of nature is very important in Washoku. As I begin this video, please let me share about Washoku, Japanese dietary culture. What do you imagine when you hear Washoku, Japanese food? Ramen, sushi, tempura? I love it, and I can't wait to eat it when I go back to Japan sometime in the future. These dishes represent a part of Washoku, but they were eaten a couple of hundred years ago as casual dishes. Traditional Washoku culture has been nourished by the ancient people in Japan. It might sound like an old story, but I believe it is interesting and there are some good points to learn and bring into our lifestyle. Okay, let me share some history about this time of year. Japan has 4 very distinct seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. It is known that humans started to live on the island of Japan over 10,000 years ago. They survived mainly by hunting animals and fishing. As time went on, they learned how to cultivate and save crops to sustain their families. They settled in places and made communities. They didn't have any beneficial tools nor enough yield of crops as we have now. They had to make most of the blessings from nature and be alone with nature rather than trying to control it. They picked edible plants from nearby mountains and made pottery to save crops. They prayed to nature and to the divine for blessings and expressed their gratitude. I believe their sense to feel the nature and how they saw the world is much different from the view of nature of the people nowadays. This is a Japanese cooking class and I'd like to share many tasty recipes. But if I can convey the meaning and background of how the dietary culture has been developed, and if the information helps to nourish your lifestyle, then I will be very happy. The ancient Japanese people created many seasonal events, ceremonies, and festivals throughout their long history. They made a wonderful dietary culture. Ehomaki, which I will show you in this video, is a thick sushi roll eaten on February 3rd every year. The culture to eat a sushi roll on that day began a couple of hundred years ago, and the event, Setsubun itself, has a long history. There is a way to divide the year into 24 seasons according with the length of a day. Like spring equinox, summer solstice, autumn equinox, and the winter solstice. For us, it is certain days on the calendar. According to what I said earlier, I guess these days could have more meaning for the ancient people. The first day of each season is called Rishun, Rika, Rishu, Rito in Japanese. And it has been believed that when the season changes, you can receive negative energy. So, on the day before these certain days, there are rituals to drive away negative energy. The day is called Setsubun. This is especially significant for the change of the season from cold winter to warm spring. It has more meaning than the other 3 Setsubun. The celebration of Setsubun on February 3rd is of a much bigger scale. Japanese people throw soybeans to purify the atmosphere and eat ehomaki to wish for good fortune. So I am impressed not by what they have done before, but by how they have now seen nature and applied the sense of season into their lifestyle. They established events along with nature and the dietary culture that has developed along with them. So it is easy to think that using seasonal ingredients is more natural and meaningful in living with nature. Each vegetable and plant have a peak season, right? Okay, let's go back to Washoku. Washoku is written in kanji characters as Washoku. The first character, wa, which means Japan or Japanese represents harmony. The second character, shoku, means food or to eat. Wa is considered to be the most traditional, indigenous, and important value in Japanese culture. As the name implies, Washoku uses seasonal ingredients and blends each of them into a harmonious fashion to satisfy your taste and other senses. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed learning Japanese culture with a focus on cooking. I'm gonna upload more videos about not only cooking but also about tea ceremony and other Japanese cultural traditions once a week. So please look forward to it. Send your comments if you like to see or learn more about different subjects. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, see you again soon. Bye!